Here is an interesting question on sketching a graph. Question 35. Sketch a possible graph that has the following characteristics. Domain x belongs to real numbers not equal to 3. Decreasing for negative infinity to 3 and 3 to 6. As x approaches minus infinity, y approaches minus 5, and as x approaches plus infinity, y approaches infinity. It's a test problem. I'd like you to do it and stop the video at this moment. Once you are done, then move on and see the solution. Okay? Now here is the solution for me. First, let's try to analyze and make a rough sketch of or try to picture the situation. Okay? So we'll do it like this. Here is a thought process, right? So I'm just giving you a thought process on this page and like sharing with you how to really do it, right? I will say that this area is my rough area, right? This is my working area, where I'm trying to write down same things which I have to show on the graph. First one is domain x belongs to real numbers and not equal to 3. That means point 3 is kind of critical for me. So I have 3 here. Let's say this is my 3, okay? And I make a note here that at 3, I have either a vertical asymptote or I have a hole. So I have two possibilities at 3. Does it make sense? This is a nice way of doing things, okay? And then next one is decreasing for minus infinity to 3. That means it is decreasing all throughout up to 3. And then it says and 3 to 6. That means 6 is also very critical for me. And then let's say this is my 6, right? And at 6, what I have is decreasing. So again it is decreasing. From here to here, also it is decreasing. Is it okay? So we will assume after that it is increasing. Perfect. Now it is not specified, but it's good to assume increasing only after that. Otherwise they would have mentioned here, right? Now then it is as x approaches minus infinity, y approaches minus 5. That really means that there is a horizontal asymptote, right? So we'll assume minus 5 to be here, okay? And we'll say this is minus 5. For the time being, I'll write minus 5 here. Is that okay? So minus 5 is here. So you could approach either way, right? So let me give you both the options. Now we are not very sure which way it should be, right? Either way. And second is as x approaches plus infinity, y approaches plus infinity. That means at the end it's finally going up. Perfect. So that is how the graph should be. Now let's try to do it. So what we have to do is, so we can think like what is happening here is that function is decreasing like this up to 3, and then from 3 it is decreasing but increasing. A function which could be decreasing and increasing could be like this part could be a parabola. Do you understand? And this part with vertex at 6, correct? And this part could be like 1 over x, right? Could be 1 over x, right? Or even could be minus flipped exponential function, right? So this part of the function could look like, I should say, you could do minus 2 to the power of x. Because if 2 to the power of x goes like this, is that okay? So minus will come like this, is that okay? And then translate it 5 units down. That is one possibility. The other possibility is it could be like 1 over x. Do you see the 1 over x graph? 1 over x graph is like this. So that also has a horizontal asymptote here. So it's basically your choice. Now at 3, you could make a vertical asymptote or a hole. Anything you prefer, correct? What I prefer is, I think, I should go with minus 2 to the power of x option. Right? It looks much better graph to me. And here, I'll rather make a hole. Right? It's interesting. I know most of the people will go for vertical asymptote. I like that part. So let me just make a rough sketch so that I know where to end my graph, kind of, right? Here it is. And what I will do is, so I'll go like this and think this is my minus 1 over x, and I make a hole here. Is that okay? So I have a hole at minus 3. because that is not included in my domain. Do you see that? And then up to 6, I have kind of a parabola. So I'll go like this and up. Do you see that part? It goes like a parabola with vertex at somewhere x is equals to 6. Do you see that point? That point I'll say is actually 6 for me, okay? And this is 3 for me. So this is x, and this is my function f of x, which is what we were supposed to do, right? And here I have a horizontal asymptote as y equals to -5. So that is a good graph for this. There are other options also. For example, this part I considered a parabola. You could actually draw from here square root x. Do you see that? Including this point, right? And it is not necessary that you start from there. That is also interesting. You could actually start from anywhere, right? Okay. What I'm trying to say is this function from here, right? Not from there, right? You could have continued this on and then drawn that part, correct? So let me say this from here, and you could have continued that as like this. Do you understand now? So that is what you could do, correct? Now here when we say it is decreasing from 3 to 6, then there is an option here also. At 6 also we could have had a hole, correct? Because that will also meet our specification. Remember that. But this also meets our specification, correct? I hope you understand different options which could have been done. So one was when I take 1 over x kind of a thing, right? I could have drawn 1 over x like this, hole at 3, and I could go on vertical asymptote at 6. Do you see that? So it will be decreasing up to 6 like this, right? And then from here I could do square root function. Is that okay? With a hole at 6. Do you understand? We could do that also. That will also work. Okay? Thank you.